Morning to all of you.
Morning, sir.
Good morning. Good morning. Let me ask what happened today. All began to enter after my message only. Why? What happened? Do you have any other class in some other board? Whether you had class in some other board in the previous period?
No, sir.
Which class? Up to 11 o'clock. You had class up to 11 o'clock?
No, sir.
Which period it was?
Sir, no, sir.
It was free period.
Free period. Free period. You are free. Period was there, but you were free. So you were up. Break. Fisane, I will come to your house and I will break. So try to enter. Today I was waiting for a long time. So, okay. Now let us come. In the last class, we have seen that our young Richard was conducting his experiments on the insect hormone. He had a doubt on the 12 golden spots, golden dots on the pupa. And the general thinking of the people was that these 12 golden spots were only ornamental. It is there only that much. But Dr. Urquhart did not accept that idea. These are very simple ones, no? So since Dr. Urquhart didn't accept it, Richard Ebright began to think. So from there, Richard Ebright began to experiment. From there, he found that these 12 golden spots were not simply ornamental. They were not simply ornamental, but they were hormone producing agents. They were hormone producing agents. And these hormones play a vital role in the formation of butterfly. These hormones help the caterpillar to become a butterfly. So this was the invention of Richard Ebright on the 12 golden spots on the pupa. In his senior year of studies in the high school, high school is 9, 10, 11, 12. So maybe in class 12, he went a step further. His experiments went a step further. A conversion of the brain had happened. I told you some months before, when you come to class 10, a conversion of brain should be there. Your thinking capacity should raise one level. then only you will be able to learn differently. Otherwise, you will learn as you were learning in class 8 and 9. That will not suffice in class 10. So when Richard Bright reached the senior class, he began to think differently. A step further, he grew cells from a monarch's wing in a culture test. That is a laboratory test, culture test. So you see, he grew cells from where? From the wings of monarch butterfly. Grafting. We have seen grafting, isn't it? People graft plants on the normal, ordinary rose plant. We graft a bud rose and put bandage and all these things, isn't it? So the root stem will be of normal plant, tart rose, but the flower will be bud rose. Have you seen? Budding. Oh, you don't do budding. You are purchasing bud rose, isn't it? You have no time to plant and take care of plants. You are going to the shop and get flowers, isn't it? Shamya, isn't it? We don't plant the things. We have no time. We purchase flowers. 1 packet rose buds. So here you see, he grew cells from monarch's wings in a culture and showed that the cells would divide and develop into normal butterfly wing scales only if they were fed the hormone from the gold spots. Kshetra? Ravu, can you do the experiments, Ravu?
Sir.
You get 2-3 butterflies. You get 2-3 butterflies from, if you go to that riverside, Chandamagana Kadav or Paravur Kadav, station Kadav, or that court Kadav, you will get some butterflies from there. You get 2 butterflies and try to grow some cells on its wings. Do research. You see, here he made a research on the wings of monarch butterflies, and he found that without this hormone, the wings would not be grown. From that, he decided that in order to grow an adult butterfly from a caterpillar, the caterpillar needed the hormone which was given by the golden spots. Understood, Lakshmi? Lakshmi Nanda, do you follow? So that is the importance of the golden spots. So that the cells would divide and develop into normal butterfly wing only if they were given, they were fed means they were given the hormone from the gold spots. Feed, fed here means given. That project won first place for zoology at the international fair. Navneet, Why can't we conduct such an experiment? Why can't we conduct such an experiment? Do, man, something you do. You take from caterpillar from the leaves, you will get many caterpillar from the leaves. Love them. And keep them in a bottle. That is a pupa, isn't it? So, do some experiments, okay. And Richard got first prize in international fair. He spent the summer after graduation doing further work at the Army laboratory and at the laboratory of the US Department of Agriculture. So he again continued his researches in the laboratory. The following summer, after his freshman year at Harvard University, famous university, Harvard University, Bright went back to the laboratory of the Department of Agriculture and did more work on the hormone from the gold spots. So when he got a result from his experiments, even after his studies in Harvard University, he went back to the agricultural laboratory. See, after his studies at Harvard University, he came back to the agricultural laboratory and he continued his experiments on the gold spots. When we get some results on certain researches, we will have the interest, isn't it? So he continued his researches. Using the laboratory's sophisticated instruments. What is Swati? Sophisticated. What is the meaning? Elana, what is the meaning? Sophisticated. Where is Elana? Can anyone say? Sophisticated. Complicated. Complex. Complicated. So, after coming back to the agricultural laboratory, he used in the agricultural laboratory, there were many complicated, minute, sophisticated instruments were there. Using those instruments and equipments, he conducted his experiments. So using the laboratory's sophisticated instruments, he was able to identify the hormones' chemical structure. So using those equipments, using those facilities of the laboratory, so you see, when we are doing at home, we will not have that much facility, isn't it? When we go to a laboratory, we will be able to do it. We will be able to do much more. There, the facilities will be there. So, since he went to the agricultural laboratory, there were a lot of different kinds of equipment. So, if you say, if you are going to a normal hospital, ordinary hospital, and if you have some complicated, sophisticated disease, what the doctor will say, we don't have much facility here. You go to a multi-specialty hospital. You go to medical college. So, when you go to a higher level of the hospital, there you will have more facilities. Suppose a person who is affected by corona and he got a pneumonia also. Pneumonia, when it comes, it is dangerous. He will not be able to breathe. So he needed ventilator. Suppose he is taken to the nearby public health center, normal hospital, where there is no ventilator. The condition of the patient is sophisticated. Understood the word? The condition of the patient is sophisticated. Condition of the patient is complicated. That word you know, complicated. Complicated. Condition of the patient is complicated. It is very difficult to survive. In such a case, the doctor will refer him, call the ambulance, take him to medical college, give him ventilator, keep him in ventilator, give him oxygen. So the patient will be shifted to a place where more facilities are available. Bastian, do you follow me? In the same way, our Richard A. Bright conducted many experiments at home. But the facilities he had at home to conduct these research works had its own limitations. So when he reached the laboratory of agriculture, laboratory of the Department of Agriculture, there he had a lot of equipments. So he conducted his experiments in a larger scale. There he could develop the chemical structure of the hormone. Underline. Hormones, chemical structure. What were the chemical components? What were the chemical components in those hormones? When he saw those photos, Ebright did not shout Eureka. A year and a half later, 1.5 years, during his junior year, Ebright got the idea for his new theory about cell life. Underline. So he began to make his research studies on cell life. I came while he was looking at X-ray photos. It came while he was looking at X-ray photos of the chemical structure of a hormone. So while he was doing his research in the agricultural laboratory or in the laboratory of the Department of Agriculture, he could conduct very serious experiments on the hormone. Anjali, do you follow me? So, after conducting such experiments, he discovered the chemical structure of the hormone. What are the chemicals in that? Sulfur is there or not? Nitrate is there or not? Which are the acids there inside? Which are the calcium is there or not? Clear now? The chemical reactions happening in the hormone. The chemical content that is there in the hormone. He understood. What is the chemical structure of water, Adulya? What is the chemical content of the water? Iva? Ahalam. What is the chemical content, Srihari? It is hydrogen and oxygen, H2O, isn't it? The structure of water is H2O. In this way, he found the chemical structure of this particular hormone that was there in the 12 gold spots. From there, he developed the study, research on cell life of the cell. When he saw those photos of the chemical structure, when he saw the photos of the chemical structure from the laboratory, you see, he didn't shout Eureka. Gauri, what is Eureka? What is Eureka? Can anyone say? Allah? Allah, where are you? What do you mean by Eureka? Sir, we have heard Kirka. Kirkan, he is a Kirkan. That we have heard. Eureka, what is Eureka?
I have found it. I have found it.
Speak aloud, speak aloud. Who is speaking? Who can say?
I have found it.
That is written there. That is written there. I have found. Anyone can say that. What do you mean by Eureka?
A word used when someone achieves in exile.
Someone? Someone?
A word used in excitement.
Someone who used this word in excitement, Srihari. And who used this word?
Someone who achieves.
Someone. Who is this someone? That is my question.
Richard.
Richard, no. Richard did not say Eureka. That is the sentence there. Richard did not say Eureka. He did not have that excitement. That means somebody had that excitement. Anyone can say? You are near the point. Fizan.
Ebright has excitement.
Ebright did not have the excitement, man. It is written there. He did not say Eureka. That means somebody had told Eureka. Who is that somebody?
Isaac Newton.
Archimedes.
Isaac Newton. Who so?
Teacher.
Archimedes.
Dr. Urquhart, no. Archimedes would have told. Such a blunder answer. Eva. Where is Eva? Archimedes. Sure.
Yes, sir.
Yes. It is Archimedes. Correct. Your answer is correct. That means you are not taking bath every day. That is the thing. You are taking bath only on Sundays only. You are saying to your mama, every day class, we are very busy. We have no time to take bath. Those who are not taking bath every day, please raise your hands. All are taking bath every day. Surely? Okay. Very good. Should take bath every day. Because in my timetable, 5:30 is the time for bath. Which timetable, sir? Which timetable? In my timetable, there is a time, 5:30 bath, 6 o'clock study starts. Here, Archimedes took bath every day. He enjoyed bathing. And he filled the tub, bathing tub, very large one. When it is filled, he jumped into the tub. So what happened? A lot of water overflew, came out of the tub. At that time, Archimedes told the word, Eureka! I have found. What is that I have found? That means the water, it is science. The water that had overflown from the tub, its volume is equal to the volume of my body mass. That is the science. That is a principle that he found. When he got that idea, he told Eureka as a shout. There was a man who told Eureka in his mind, and he cursed Eureka. Who is that? Hey, Eva. There was another man who said Eureka and cursed it. Who is that man? Eh? Try once again. You itch your head, it may come out. The lice is there, so you can itch properly, so it will come out. Who? Urkehard. You got one Urkehard and you are behind Urkehard. Anyone? Can you tell the person? Yes, a bright. No, Shamya. It is not a bright. Who curse? Luck, try, Eva. Hello?
Albert Einstein.
Albert Einstein. No. A famous scientist. Luck, guessing. You make a guess. Famous scientist. Can it?
First letter.
First letter. Gauri, make a guess. No problem.
Clue.
Kulu. Kulu is Kulu. I have given a famous scientist. That is a clue.
Newton.
Isaac Newton. Who told? Eva. Tell mommy to get 2 tablets paracetamol. Or to munch chocolate. Okay, good. Isaac Newton. When the rotten apple fell upon his bald head, what did Isaac Newton say? Church! Cursed. Understood? He cursed. Was there any other place to fall this? He had to go and wash his head. But after washing, he came to know why this apple is falling down. Why can't it go up?
Gravity.
Parachute.
Gravity.
Gravity, very good. He invented the theory of gravitation. What science you are studying? I am a poor man who studied science in 1972. After that, I did not see science textbook. How many years? 28 plus 20? 49 years ago, I have studied science textbook. There I had studied Isaac Newton and Apple, the theory of gravitation. And you are always standing with a bright and a bright and a bright. So, Eureka! Eureka means I have found it. This term is closely related with Archimedes. That is a word used to say when somebody is in greater excitement, unexpected excitement. But here the text says, our Hebrite was not excited, but he believed, underline, he believed that along with his findings, researches, discoveries about insect hormone, the photos gave him the answer to one of biology's puzzles. Unsolved question. Here means puzzle. Unsolved question. Here the puzzle means. So, he he brought certain answers to the particular question which till that date science did not have any answer. You see, along with his findings about insect hormones, the photos gave him the answer to one of biology's puzzles. What was the question? Underline. How the cell can read the blueprint of DNA. Here, read means how a cell can show, present, or simply be. How can a cell be a blueprint of DNA? All the sentences are correct. That means if you test a cell, how can you understand its DNA? The cell contains the parts of DNA. That is why, how can a cell be a blueprint of DNA? Science did not get any answer to this question. But by the researches of a bright on hormone, these butterfly hormones, insect hormones, he gave the answer to this question to the science. DNA is the substance in the nucleus. DNA is the substance in the nucleus of a cell that controls heredity. You are very experts to understand this sentence. What is DNA? DNA is the minute part of this cell that shows your heredity, your relation to the forefathers. If we test your DNA, we will be able to find out who is your father, who is your grandfather, where from you are coming. Clear now? The origin of your life we can find out among the predecessors, forefathers. That is what is called heredity. Heredity. Clear now? Clear now? Okay, thank you, Fizan. No. So you see, DNA is the substance in the nucleus. When you study biology in the cell, there is nucleus, isn't it? Nucleus. Substance in the nucleus, Devasena. Are you saying Eureka? Devasena is wonderstruck. Bright is doing such kind of research, and why can't I do this research, isn't it? Devasena, don't worry, you can do the research later. So DNA is the substance in the nucleus of a cell that controls heredity. It determines the form and function of the cell. DNA controls and determines the function of a cell. Very important paragraph is that. It tells about the function of DNA. What is DNA? Biology you are studying here. Thus, DNA is the blueprint of your life. Blueprint here means basis. Basis, foundation. Another meaning. Blueprint. DNA is the basis of your life. DNA is the foundation of your life. DNA is the blueprint of your life. So this is answer. Till that day, it was a puzzle, unanswered question. in science, in zoology. And a bright gave answer to that question. A bright and his college roommate, not classmate, roommate, James R. Wong, then they underline, his college roommate, hostelmate. What is his name? James R. Wong worked all that night drawing pictures and constructing plastic models of molecules to show how it could happen. Together, they later wrote the paper that explained the theory. Wrote the paper here means wrote the project assignment. Here the paper means project or assignment. So they got the answer to the questions about DNA. After getting these answers, James R. Wong and Bright were sitting inside the room and they wrote all the details. They drew the picture and they made models with the plastics. Surprising, no one who knew him, Richard Bright graduated from Harvard with the highest honors. Second in his class of 1,510. You see? A Bright with his result in graduation surprised those people who knew nothing about a Bright. There were a few people who knew the ability of a Bright. It was not a surprise for them, because suppose I am getting, Joshi sir is getting always 98% marks in all the exams now. All the subjects, and if I get a 99%, will you get surprised? No, always he is getting. But those who do not know me, they would get surprised, isn't it? That is written. The people, the students who did not know anything about a Bright got surprised at the result, and he became the second rank holder in a class. And what was the strength of the class? 1,510 students. Not as like our classroom. It's a college batch. It's a college batch. The batch, degree batch, had 1,510 students. Among them, he was the second one. So you see, again I repeat, a scout student of the year became scientist of the year. A growth from a sports boy to a scientist boy. We have to learn a lot of energy from the life of a Bright in the matter of studies. It was only because of his hard work. It was only because of his hard work that he could achieve. Each and everyone can achieve, but you have to think whether you are putting in. You put in hard work. Am I an easy-going student? Class, homework, assignment. The rest of the time, TV, movie, moving with the movie. If I ask who has got the best award in this year, which is the best film of this year, you will have 100 tongues. 100 tongues. You will become Vayadis, isn't it? No limitation, sir. Free visa in UAE, that visa, permanent visa, and all these things. That award, this award. Oh, what a wonderful picture it is, sir. Super film, super stars. Oh, Did you do the revision? You didn't hear the question. Eh? You didn't hear the question. This is the difference between a bright and you. A bright burned the oil in the midnight. Don't forget this sentence. A bright burned the oil in the midnight. In his study room, there was no night. Even our midnight was a daytime in his room with the lamp. He was hard working. If you also become a person doing hard work, you can change your result. You can change your result. So, a bright went on, continued. Went on means continued. Went on is a phrasal verb. Continued to become a graduate student researcher. PhD student. PhD student. That is graduate student researcher at a Harvard Medical School. He was taken as a researcher. There he began doing experiments to test his theory on hormones and cells. If the theory proves correct, if the theory on the cell, growth of the cell developed by a bright was correct, it will be a leap towards understanding the process of life. I use a new word there. It will be a leap, L-E-A-P, big step, big jump. It would be a drastic change. All these words are saying. It would be a drastic change. It would be a leap. It would be a big jump. It would be a great answer towards the underlying understanding of the process of life. It might also lead to new ideas for preventing some types of cancer and other diseases. So such a study may help the researchers in cancer. All of this is possible because of a bright's scientific curiosity. Can you tell me that particular word in him instead of scientific curiosity? Can anyone say? 2 pages before. What kind of curiosity?
Driving curiosity.
Driving curiosity. All these results came out because of his intense curiosity, because of his driving curiosity, because of his scientific curiosity, because of his hard work. All these are same. Underline, because of a bright's scientific curiosity. His high school research into the purpose of the sports on a monarch pupa eventually means finally, at last, led him to his theory about a cell life. Underline. His high school research on butterflies, monarch butterflies, reached him to the research in the cell life. In our common language, if we say, a small boy who was running behind, who was chasing a butterfly, became a scientist who made the researches in the science of life. Clear now? That is a bright. A bright. A boy who was playing with a small football became a Pele of the modern age. A boy who was playing cricket with a small piece of wood and a small rubber ball, he was playing inside the room, he was playing at the courtyard, has become the Sachin Tendulkar of 2021 or Virat Kohli of 2021. In this way, a boy who was a scout, who was chasing behind the butterflies in the compound, in the countryside, because of his intense curiosity, because of his scientific curiosity, became a scientist who made his researches in the development of cells. Clear now? Okay? The rest we will see in the next class. Okay, thank you.